So under our umbrella discussion, one-dimensional steady state heat conduction without heat generation through homogeneous and isotropic material having constant thermal conductivity K with respect to temperature. The next topic is heat flow between surface and surroundings. It can also be referred as heat transfer by conduction and convection mode both, or it is also referred as combined mode of heat transfer. So when combined mode of heat transfer comes into picture, when there is a convection, there is a conduction mode. And we know by convection, heat transfer takes place between fluid and the solid surface or between two fluids. And by conduction mechanism, heat transfer takes place predominantly in solids. So let us discuss our heat conduction through a composite wall or plane wall when conduction and convection, both modes are involved. So the first case, I am going to discuss when plane wall separating hot and cold fluid. So when this condition will arise, that is heat transfer will take place by conduction and convection. So this condition will arrive when either a single wall or composite wall will separate two fluids. One will be hot fluid and another will be cold fluid. So heat transfer will take place from hot fluid to the cold fluid through the solid medium in the form of plane wall or composite wall, and both the modes, convection as well as conduction modes, will be involved. So the first case I am considering when only plane wall is separating hot and cold fluid. So one such plane wall is shown in this figure. This plane wall is separating hot fluid and cold fluid. Hot fluid is on the right side and cold fluid is on the left hand side. Let us represent this actual condition in the form of schematic. So this is the plane wall or slab separating hot fluid and cold fluid. Now hot fluid will be represented by a thin fluid film, and similarly the cold fluid will be represented by a thin fluid film. I cannot draw the entire mass of the fluid. So for the representation purpose, this hot fluid film will represent the entire hot fluid, and this cold fluid film will represent the entire cold fluid. Let's say the hot fluid side is represented by the point A and cold fluid side is represented by the point B. Let's say temperature of the hot fluid is represented by T infinity 1 and temperature of the cold fluid is represented by T infinity 2. And T infinity 1 is greater than T infinity 2. So heat transfer will take place from left hand side to the right hand side. Here I have taken this point for the sake of analysis. So I can assume the entire hot fluid film or entire hot fluid temperature can be represented by this T infinity one, and for the sake of representation I am taking this point which represents the temperature T infinity one, though entire fluid film temperature is at T infinity one. Similarly, this point will represent T infinity 2 as the temperature of cold fluid. Let's say temperature of the left hand side face of the plane wall is T1 and of the right hand side is T2. So by virtue of this temperature difference between hot and cold fluid, heat transfer will take place from left hand side to the right hand side. So when heat transfer takes place through this hot fluid film, this fluid is going to offer some thermal resistance and temperature drop will take place. Similarly, and this heat transfer will be by convection. When heat transfer takes place from left hand face to the right hand face, the material of this slab wall will offer thermal resistance and temperature drop will take place across the plane wall. And finally, when heat transfer will take place from right hand side or right hand face of the slab to the cold fluid film, this cold fluid film is going to offer some thermal resistance to the path of the fluid film. Heat transfer will take place by convection, and that thermal resistance will be convective thermal resistance. So let's say temperature drop takes place from T2 to T infinity 2. So this way the heat transfer will take place in this plane wall separating hot and cold fluid film. I can also draw the equivalent circuit of this heat transfer through plane wall separating hot and cold fluid film. So the flow quantity will be Q. The first potential difference will be temperature difference T infinity 1 and T1 between fluid film. And the thermal resistance offered by this fluid film will be, I am representing by RT suffix A. Then second potential difference will be temperature difference between T1 and T2 of the faces of this wall, and it is also going to offer thermal resistance, let's say RT. And final potential difference will be between temperatures T2 and T infinity between the right face of the wall and fluid film. And the cold fluid film is also going to offer thermal resistance or convective thermal resistance represented by RT suffix P. And finally, heat will come out. So this is the equivalent electrical circuit of this thermal system where heat transfer is taking place. Now let us do analysis of this entire system. Once again, as we have discussed earlier, our aim is to find out temperature variation, isn't it? Of fluids and wall surfaces. And second, to calculate heat transfer rate. That is Q. Now, how to achieve these two aims? So, as we have assumed in our very starting heading, we have assumed it one-dimensional steady-state heat conduction without no heat generation and homogeneous and isotropic material. So, whatever this heat transfer rate is there, it is one-dimensional and under steady-state condition. So, under steady state and one-dimensional heat condition, heat conduction, what I can say, rate of heat transfer Q will be rate of heat transfer from this point to left face of the wall. It can be represented by QA1. Let's say this point is 1 and this point is 2. Is equal to heat transfer rate from left face to the right face of the slab, and finally heat transfer rate from right face to the cold fluid Q2. Now we also know heat transfer from this hot fluid to the left surface will be by convection. So basically this QA1 will be by convection. Similarly, Q2B will be heat transfer rate by convection and this Q12 will be heat transfer rate by conduction. That we know from the fundamentals of heat transfer and their mechanism, we know. Now, I want to write the expression for QA1, QA12 and QA2B. One more thing I forgot to represent here. Let's say the convective heat transfer coefficient of the hot fluids side is HA and convective heat transfer coefficient of the cold fluid is HB, watt per meter square Kelvin. And thermal conductivity of this plane slab is K. Its thickness is L in the path of the heat flow. And area normal to heat flow is A. I have not shown the area normal to heat transfer. That is, I am talking about this area. This, and this in meter square. So QA1, that is heat transfer rate from hot fluid to the left surface, it will be by convection. And we know from Newton's law of cooling, heat transfer rate can be given by heat transfer coefficient of that fluid, that is HA, area into T infinity 1 minus T1. Heat transfer rate from left face to the right face, that will be by conduction. It can be written as Ka, temperature difference, over N. This is the rate of heat transfer for plane wall. And finally for Q2B will be heat transfer rate from right face to the cold fluid. Can given from Newton's law of cooling as HB into A into T2 minus T3. Let's say this is equation number 1, equation number 2, and equation number 3. Let me rearrange this expression in terms of delta T over R, that is potential difference to the thermal resistance. So it will become 1 over HA into A is equal to T1 minus T2, 1 L over Ka is equal to T2 minus T3 over 1 over HB into A. So I can modify the individual heat transfer rate equations through hot fluid, slab, and cold fluid in this form. So further I can simplify this. Q is equal to T infinity 1, this is 1, minus T1 over RTA is equal to T1 minus T2 over RT is equal to T2 minus T3 over RT suffix B. Now what is RTA, RT and RTB? These are nothing but thermal resistances offered by the hot fluid, the plain slab, and the cold fluid respectively. Where RTA and RTA is the convective thermal resistance because it is offered by the fluid film to the path of the heat conduction or heat transfer rate. So convective thermal resistance is equal to 1 over HA into A Kelvin per watt. R T is equal to conductive thermal resistance can be given by L over Ka. We have already come across it. Its unit will be once again Kelvin per watt, and RTB is once again, it is a thermal resistance offered by the cold fluid film to the heat transfer by convection. So convective thermal resistance, and it is given by 1 over HB, that is convective heat transfer coefficient of cold fluid film into area, Kelvin per watt. So this way we can derive the expressions for different thermal resistances. Now, what is new in this? We have already done such exercises for series and parallel combinations of slabs. So what is new? In earlier cases, when I considered the heat conduction through plane wall, I did consider only single mode, that is conduction. But in this case, the wall is separating hot as well as cold fluid and it is again a mass, so it will also offer resistance in the form of convective thermal resistance. So two extra thermal resistances are also coming into picture. Apart from the thermal resistance, what offered by the slab material. So these two extra resistances, that is RTA by hot fluid and RTB in the cold fluid, have also been introduced. Now, what will be, so using these individual expressions, equation number 1, equation number 2, and equation number 3, we can find out the variation of this temperature T1 and T2. So our first aim has been achieved. Now how to calculate the heat transfer rate, that is Q. So rewriting equation number 1, 2, and 3 in terms of temperature difference. So Q is equal to T infinity 1 minus T1 over RTA. So in terms of temperature difference, it will be T infinity 1 minus T1 will be equal to Q into RT's A. Similarly, equation 2 can be rewritten as T1 minus T2 over RT. So in terms of temperature difference, it can be written as Q into RT. And finally, equation number 3, Q is equal to T2 minus T infinity 2 over RTB. So this will become T2 minus T infinity 2 is equal to Q into RTB. Sorry, I have written here. I have used the wrong notations. Please correct this. This is actually T2 minus T infinity 2 everywhere. T infinity 2, T infinity 2. So here also it will be T infinity 2. Now, as T infinity 1 and T infinity 2, these are the temperatures of hot and cold fluid, and generally they are known to me. So let us rewrite all these temperature differences in terms of T infinity 1 minus T infinity 2, which can further be written as T infinity 1 minus T1 plus T1 minus T2 plus T2 minus T infinity 2. So writing this in terms of heat transfer rate and thermal resistances, Q is common in all these expressions, so I can directly write RTA plus RT plus RTB. So further simplifying this, or rewriting this equation for heat transfer rate will give me T infinity 1 minus T infinity 2 over RTA plus RT plus RTB. Or I can also write it as T infinity 1 minus T infinity 2 over summation of RT, where summation of RT is equal to RTA plus RT plus RTB, total thermal resistance of the system. System of what? A plain wall separating hot and cold fluid film. So what will be the total resistance? This much will be the total resistance offered by the heat transfer rate. RTA will be by convection through hot fluid. RT will be by plain slab wall material by conduction, and RTB by cold fluid through convection. And this is the expression. So this way we can find out heat transfer rate equations if a plane wall is separating two fluids, hot and cold. And we can also calculate the individual thermal resistances with the help of these equations. Now, in the similar fashion, we can also analyze the heat transfer rate through composite wall separating hot fluid film and cold fluid. The only difference is earlier it was a single wall or plain wall or plain slab. Now in this case there is a composite slab. And for the sake of analysis, I am considering all the slabs are connected in series. Even if the slabs are connected in parallel, there is no problem. We can do the analysis. But for the sake of analysis, I am considering slabs are connected in series arrangement. Series arrangement means individual slabs A, B, and C. They are made up of the same materials. Individually, they are made up of same material, but the material of A, B, and C can be different. So let's say thickness of the first slab A is L1. The thickness of the slab B is L2, and thickness of the slab C is L3. Let's say thermal conductivity is K1, K2, and K3 respectively. This is the hot fluid film. The entire hot fluid will be represented by hot fluid film. Similarly, the cold fluid will be represented by cold fluid film. Its convective heat transfer coefficient is HA, and convective heat transfer coefficient of the cold fluid film is HB. Let's say the hot fluid is at temperature T infinity 1 and cold fluid is at temperature T infinity 2. Obviously, T infinity 1 is greater than T infinity 2. So heat transfer will take place from hot fluid side to cold fluid side at the rate of Q watt. Let's say this side is represented by A and this side is represented by B for the sake of convenience. And A is area normal to heat flow, which will remain same for slab wall A, B, and C. So after representing all these notations on this schematic diagram, let me draw the temperature variation. Let us say temperature of this face is T1. Temperature of the interface AB is T2 and temperature of face interface BC is T3. Temperature of the right hand side face of the slab material C is T4 and temperature of the cold fluid film is T infinity 2. When heat transfer takes place from hot fluid to the cold fluid, heat transfer will take place from hot fluid to the left hand face by convection. The fluid will offer convective thermal resistance and temperature drop will take place inside this fluid film. When heat transfer takes place through material A by conduction, because it is a solid material, so again it is going to offer thermal resistance, conductive thermal resistance. Temperature drop will take place from T1 to T2. Similarly, from T2 to T3, this must be straight line. And from T3 to T4, and finally from 3 to 4. So this temperature profile, as we know in case of plane wall, is linear. I could not draw it straight. It doesn't mean it is like that. It must be represented by straight line. You please take care of that. Now let us draw the electrical equivalent circuit for this arrangement. So the flow quantity is Q. The first potential difference is the temperature difference T infinity 1 and T1 between hot fluid film and left face. Hot fluid film will offer one convective thermal resistance represented by RTA. Second potential difference will be temperature difference between the walls of slab material A. It will offer thermal resistance by conduction RTA. Then temperature difference T2 and T3 will offer thermal resistance by conduction RTB. Then temperature difference between walls of slab C is T3 minus T4, and it will also offer conductance thermal resistance represented by RTC. And finally, the temperature difference between right hand side face of the wall C and cold fluid T infinity 2 will cause temperature drop, will offer thermal resistance by convection represented by RTB, and finally heat transfer rate will come out. So this is the equivalent electrical circuit for heat transfer rate through this composite wall separating hot and cold fluid. So once again, the purpose remains same. We are interested to find out the temperature variation, that is T1, T2, T3, T4, and to calculate the heat transfer rate. Now we have assumed one-dimensional steady state heat conduction. So what will be the consequence of this assumption? Q, that is rate of heat transfer, will be same for rate of heat transfer from fluid film to the left face. Rate of heat transfer will be same for heat transfer from phase 1 to interface 2. Rate of heat transfer will be same from phase 2 to interface 3. Rate of heat transfer will be same from interface 3 to phase 4, and finally from right phase to the cold fluid. Now this will be the heat transfer rate by convection, because fluid is coming into contact with the solid, and all these heat transfer rate will be by conduction. So in the similar fashion, I can write the expressions for heat transfer rate. So Q is equal to, now I am directly writing in terms of temperature difference and thermal resistance. So this expression for QA1 will be T infinity 1 minus T1 over 1 over HA is equal to T1 minus T2 over L1 over K1A, T2 minus T3 over L2 over K2A is equal to T3 minus T4 over L3 over K3A, and finally T4 minus T infinity 2 over 1 over HB into A. Nothing great. I simply applied the law of heat conduction and law of heat convection. So let's say this is equation number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Correct? Now I am not going into the detail of this derivation. If you want to calculate the temperature variation of T1, T2, T3, and T4, you can use combination of either of these two equations to calculate the variation of either of the temperatures. of the solid material. So how can I write now the expression for heat transfer rate in terms of fluid temperatures? So if I am considering, see, I am considering T infinity 1 and T infinity 2. In between these two temperatures, what are the materials coming into picture? It is the hot fluid, material A, B, C, and cold fluid film. So their thermal resistances will come into picture and will get add up as a total thermal resistance offered to the path of heat flow. So it can be written as one over HA into A plus L1 over K1A plus L2 over K2A plus L3 over K3A plus 1 over HBA. So this is the rate of heat transfer in case of composite wall separating hot and cold fluid. This can be further simplified by T infinity 1 minus T infinity 2 over RT suffix A plus RT suffix capital A plus RT suffix capital B plus RT suffix capital C plus RT suffix S1. So with the help of these two expressions, you can calculate the heat transfer rate. And in this expression, RTA is nothing but 1 over HA. RT suffix capital A is nothing but L1 over K1A. L sorry RTB RT suffix capital B is L2 over K2A. RT suffix capital C is L3 over K3A, and finally RT suffix small b is convective thermal resistance by cold fluid film this way. So all these are the thermal resistances of individual materials and fluids. And this can also be written as T infinity 1 minus T infinity 2 over summation of RT. Where summation of RT is equal to total thermal resistance of the system. Composite wall and fluid system. equal to RTA plus RT A plus RTB plus RT capital C plus RT suffix B. And its unit can be either Kelvin per watt or degrees Celsius per watt. So I recommend to have the good idea about this formula as well. Now, after finding out the temperature variation in case of plain wall or composite wall separating hot and cold fluid, and finding out individual expressions for thermal resistances, now let us discuss one more very important concept, and it is called as overall heat transfer coefficient. This is represented by capital U. Now, what is the significance of this? This overall heat transfer coefficient takes into account the effectiveness, or not effectiveness actually, the ability of the system to transfer heat when combined modes of heat transfer are involved. Because what happens, thermal conductivity talks about the ability of the material to transfer heat by conduction. Similarly, heat transfer coefficient H talks about the ability of the fluid to transfer heat by convection. But when both the modes of heat transfers are involved in transferring heat, so under such condition, U is going to help us. Now, in terms of overall heat transfer coefficient, capital U, heat transfer rate can be given by this formula. U into A into, let's say in this case, temperature difference is infinity minus T infinity. Let's say I give this equation as equation something 1, or let's say starting from here. This is equation number 1. And this is equation number 2. This is equation number 3. Let's say this is equation number 4, and this is equation number 5. So comparing equation 4 and 5, what I will get the relationship? UA is equal to 1 upon summation of RT. This is the relationship between overall heat transfer coefficient and total thermal resistance. And the unit of this overall heat transfer coefficient is watt per meter square Kelvin. So this way I can also calculate overall heat transfer coefficient for combined mode of heat transfer. Now, during this entire discussion of heat transfer through composite wall separating hot and cold fluid, I have not taken into consideration thermal contact resistances. Now let us discuss if we consider thermal contact resistances. So let us refer this composite wall system. Here, as you can see, the composite wall is made up of 3 materials, A, B, and C, and there are 2 interfaces. One is interface AB and another is interface BC. And if we assume that the contact of the materials AB and BC are not perfect, or by virtue of their surface roughnesses and asperities, thermal contact resistance may come into picture. So there will be thermal contact resistance at interface AB and another thermal resistance will be at interface BC. So if we consider the effect of surface roughnesses and effect of thermal contact resistances, in the equation 4, 2 more thermal resistances we have to take into consideration, and the entire discussion will remain applicable. So I can write here total thermal resistance of the system will be RT suffix A plus RT suffix capital A. Now there will be thermal contact resistance at the interface AB. So RTC AB plus RTB. Once again, there will be thermal contact resistance at the interface BC. So RTC BC plus RT capital C plus finally RT suffix small b, Kelvin per watt. And Q will be, considering thermal contact resistance, will be T infinity 1 minus T infinity 2. Let's say to differentiate this total thermal resistance with thermal contact resistance, I am using the suffix Tc over summation of RT suffix Tc. So this way I can also take into consideration thermal contact resistance to get the equation of total thermal resistance and heat transfer rate.